Hi everybody, this is Belinda from Belinda's Book Nook, and I'm here to do a Friday Reads. Our weather for today is it's very sunny. It's going to get hot today, and it looks like a decent day today and tomorrow. And then I think Sunday we might get rain again. We had like really, really crazy rain last night and wind, which I was really nervous about my lights that we've hung around the patio. I'm like, great, now something else to think about with the weather, but so there I am with that. So let's talk about what I've been doing. I'm trying hard to get a clean finish to this month with my reading, and it's not happening quite as fast as I thought. So the Pervine Mystery, the novel that I'm reading here, I am listening to the audio and going along with the book, and I am maybe a third of the way through this book. So my goal is to have this done by next Friday. So when I talk to you, I'll have everything done. But it's not exactly happening like I thought it was gonna be. It's actually a good book. What slowed me down was I was listening to it while I was cooking the other day, and she added in like 3 other characters, and I was like, oh God, I might have to go write down these people just so I can keep who's straight who, because why is she introducing them? Are they going to be significant to the story? So those are kind of the things that I was like thinking. So I put that on pause, and I need to get back to that. So this weekend I'm going to try to, gain some momentum with that one and see where we're going with that. Now, I forgot to put it over here, and I don't have it with me. I did. Oh no, it's here. I'm sorry. It is here. I did complete The Other Black Girl, and I'm going to talk about it when we get to our wrap up. So that is done. Mixed feelings, which I told you guys already on that one. I really haven't even, I read like maybe a page in Stacey Abrams' Our Time Is Now, so I'm just going to take that off the list for this month. It's funny because I put them in my, I've gotten so used to me changing up that my TBR, when I write it here in my journal, I write it in pencil first. And so I can take it out, or sometimes I leave it and I'll just say, I may be pushing it to the next month, or I just will do check boxes next to it. Now, the ones that I did read that I said I'll read, I'll have read it. So it really depends. I'm not sure, but I know that one I'm not gonna be able to get to because we're too, time is a ticking. Now, the one that has taken off, oh my God, is this one. Summer in the Blouse by Sunny Hostin. I'm really impressed because, this is her first novel. She was a lawyer. She's a talk show co-host of the program called The View. She's done a lot of things. She's very vocal about her opinions on different things, and I really, really respect her on the show. And so I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And like I told you, I was really excited because it was going to be set in Martha's Vineyard, and I'm very familiar with going there. When I was a child, I used to go there in the summers, and then also now as an adult, I bring my kids there. So it's really good. Halfway through, it really kicked in, and it was like I was sitting with my son while he was working on his summer packets, and when you get lost in a book, I wasn't even aware of hearing him over there doing like math equations or what have you. I was just really zoned in it. And what I'm saying I like about it is I like that the story kind of follows this couple who basically, they don't really adopt, but they decide to take some level of guardianship, or, they act as godparents, basically. That's probably a good word for it, to 3 different girls, and from when they were very young all the way up until adulthood. And you get to follow each of these girls' stories, which could be a story or a book of themselves, of their own. But you find out more about the couple, and you start to find out the backstories of each of the girls as they're now adults, and you get to hear more about their backstory and their relationship also with this couple. There are some steamy scenes and a little blushing on this part here, but very good. And then I just like how she's sprinkling in bits of history of Martha's Vineyard in there. some civil rights information that she's put into the book. It's really good, and she did it in a great way. It was kind of seamless. It's not so forced. She even has an element in here where the husband becomes a beekeeper, and you learn the importance and significance of bees. And she doesn't kind of stuff it in your face. It's brought in there in a nice way. So I'm very much enjoying it. And this is all I have left is like about 80 pages. I can finish this weekend. I will finish this because it's so good. And wait, can I just say this? You know, I love covers, right? But look at the inside of this. Isn't that so pretty? I'm loving it because I take this off when I'm reading. I put them back on when I come to show it to you guys when I remember. But when I have it off, it's always so boring. But every time I'm picking this up to read, I always like flip to look at the pictures. And these are like replicas of these cottages that she does talk about the history of them that are on Martha's Vineyard. So it's really, really nice. So this is it's perfect for the summer. So I'm glad that I'm working my way through that. Now, the last time I talked to you guys, I think I also forgot to show you books that I told you I had some that were still coming in. And so I have 3 that I wanted to show you while I got your attention. And so this first one, it came out in, I want to say it was 2019. Yeah, 2019. And I had it in my journal. I felt it was last year. Maybe it was 2019. I put it in my journal. I have like a section in my journal that I do the month. And as I hear about books, I'll put in what books are coming out, what date they're supposed to come out, which I've kind of fallen behind on again this year. But I wanted this book. It's called Remembrance. Voodoo kept her safe. Now it may destroy her. A novel by Rita Woods. Now, when it first came out, I don't know what it was. I have just pre-ordered a bunch of other things, and the book came out in hardcover, and I got snotty. I was like, oh, I don't want to pay that price for a hardcover. I mean, it's a debut novel. I'm not sure. I do want to read it, but I'm not sure if I want to do it, so I didn't get it. So I'm kind of glad that I'm starting to pace myself, because I am preferring to get, for the most part, unless like it's a series, like so this one, I've already gone down that path. I'm going to continue on this with the hardcovers for Sujata's series here. They look great together on the bookshelf, but I think especially when they're one-off books, I kind of prefer to get the paperback. It's easier to hold. It takes up less space. It's not as heavy on a bookshelf. So I like that. So what is the story about, you say? I think it follows 3 to 4 women, right? Maybe it's 3 women. And they're all in different time periods, if I'm correct. It says, a place of sanctuary, of freedom, and perhaps magic, if you could make it there. Now 3 women separated by time and oceans, but alike in desperation, seek its refuge. So in 1791 in Haiti, the island is on the brink of a revolution, and Abigail is forced to flee with her mistress, leaving her children behind. In 1857, New Orleans promised her freedom on her 18th birthday. Margot. It's one of those days. Is sold away just days before to settle her master's debts. And then present day Cleveland, we have Gail struggles to rebuild her life in America after losing nearly everything in a devastating earthquake. With no one place to turn, the rumor of an ancient magic calls to all 3 of these women across the centuries. Built on voodoo and protected by secrecy, remembrance just may be their last hope on the road to freedom. I know it is historical fiction. I know it will have a little bit of magical realism in there, but I think it will be very interesting, and hopefully she's pulling some good facts in there to mix in and weave into the story. So I'm really hopeful for this. I was hopeful then, and I think that I think Peta on Comfy Cozy Up liked it, and I trust her opinion on books, and I'm trying to think if somebody else mentioned that they liked it, so I'm hopeful. So I'm glad I waited for the paperback. So this is one that I had that I ordered rather, and got. Now a pre-order that I got, and talk about beautiful, arrived right on the day it was released, which was I think a couple weeks back, and it's called The Island Queen, a novel by Vanessa Riley, and look at the cover on that one. I mean, they're just getting better and better. And then, so you go put it on the shelf, and she's still there. There's a little one of her on the spine, and then you have her again on the back. I mean, it's just, and that's a picture of the author. And this is a historical fiction, and it's based on a, loosely, on a true story of this, I think she's a free woman of color. Okay, it's based on the incredible true life story of Dorothy Kirwan Thomas, a free woman of color who rose from slavery to become one of the wealthiest and most powerful landowners in the colonial West Indies. I'm really curious to listen and to read this one rather, because obviously I've never heard of this woman. Hoping that she puts in enough facts so that it will still educate me, even though she's using, a fiction story. I'd like to hear stories like this because, as I continue to get older and learn more and more about, the issues of land in this country with former slaves and free people and how that land was given and then taken away, I always want to learn more because, owning property and land is power, and this back in the time of slavery especially. I'm curious to see how this, what's the whole thing? How did she come about to actually acquire her wealth? So I am looking forward to this one. It's big. It's not happening sometime in the fall. I'm not sure when. It would have been a great one for Rubathon. But again, I just got it now, and I think I have other things lined up for this month coming up. So, but definitely excited it came. I'm glad I have it, and I'll pop it on the shelf and I can look at it and it'll remind me that I need to read it. The last one that I got is an author that I have one other book from her and one book that I started and didn't finish, and I'm so embarrassed that I never finished it. Sometimes you get so far removed from a book that if you go back to it, you're going to have to start all over. And when it's really big, I'm like, do I really want to go down that again? I just don't know, even though I had enjoyed it. And the author I'm talking about, and I'm going to be apologizing about her name, is Jennifer Nansumbuga Makumbi. And the book that I'm talking about is Kintu, and it was 2 years ago, I think now, or maybe it was last summer. Dee Dee for Brown Girl Reading had done that for a Read Soul Lit. I think it was the summer. I want to say it was last summer. I started it. It was so good, and then I forgot what happened, and I put it down. And once that happens, it's really hard for me to pick a book up. And I got off track of the schedule, and then next thing I know, they're going to do the live, and I was like, I don't want to know because I'm too far behind. So I never read it. Then I pre-ordered. She had another, or maybe I didn't pre-order. I got another book of hers, which was called. No, I don't think they have the name of it in here. I think it's When Manchester Happens or something like that. And that was another book by her. I haven't read it yet. So I am now becoming a collector of her books. Although I do own Kintu too, don't I? I think I do. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I think I do. Anyway, so I want to read this one. This is her latest novel called The First Woman. And this author, I believe she grew up and was born in Uganda. And I think that the book is set there. I don't know a lot about Uganda, and I really... here it says, it's right here in the back. The other book that I own is called Manchester Happened. I didn't read it yet, and I want to get to this one. But this one, oh my God, Belinda. This one is also set in Uganda, and it says, at once epic and deeply personal, the second novel from prize winner author Jennifer Makumbi is an intoxicating mix of Ugandan folklore and modern feminism that will linger in the memory long after the final page. As Karabo enters her teens, questions begin to gnaw at her, questions which the adults in her life will do anything to ignore. Where is the mother she's never known? And why would she choose to leave her daughter behind? Inquisitive, headstrong, and unwilling to take no for an answer, Karabo sets out to find the truth for herself. Her search will take her away from the safety of her prosperous Ugandan family, plunging her into a very different world of magic, tradition, and the haunting legend of the first woman. It sounds good. Cover love right here. Seriously, beautiful cover. I wanted this one. I was just very excited. The only gripe that I have about this book is, I don't know if you can see it, but this is like the tiniest writing. So it's got to be good, because I'll be looking for an audiobook. So I'm hoping I can stick with it. I want to finish one of her books, because I know she's got it in her. I was really loving Kintu, and one day I will get to it. Maybe I'll just do the audio, and then I can get through it faster, and I won't lose momentum. But I definitely want to read this, and I still want to read the other one I have. I don't know, do you guys do that? Like, do you sometimes buy books, multiple books from an author, and you haven't read one of their books yet? I think it's kind of funny. I have another one that's coming to mind, but I will have to make a confession video on that. Because I have I think I have three books by that author, and I have not read one yet. So anyway, there's that. So those are the 3 books that I got, since we've last chatted, and I am going to try hard to finish these 2 I'll definitely finish this one. This one I'll try to finish before next Friday, so I can get started on my August books. I'll come back with you guys with an August TBR. I'm really excited about some of the books that I want to read for that, and I've got some other options for Women in Translation Month too that I wanted to talk to you about, which I ended up going on my bookshelf and pulling books that I haven't read, and I own quite a few. So I'm super happy, because it'll be crossing things off of read my own books, books that are on my shelf. I'm not buying anything new, and it also will be covering women in translations. So let me know what you guys are reading this weekend. I'm looking forward to this lovely day, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.